Metropolitan Pistol Club in beautiful sunny Queensland in Brisbane for the PA version, or the PA section of the National Championships. And we move into the ISSF National Championships at the Brisbane International Shooting Centre from next week. Competition here today, yesterday, and the next couple of days in WA1500, black powder and service pistol coming up. Metropolitan Pistol Club, fantastic facility out here in Belmont in the suburbs of Brisbane. Not that far from the city. Huge complex. There's a rifle, shotgun also here on the complex, and your ISSF air pistol, rapid fire, all those disciplines down at the Brisbane International Shooting Centre, the home of the Commonwealth Games, the 2018 Commonwealth Games. The WA1500, the full name is known as the World Association Precision Pistol Competition 1500. It's scored over 150 shots on paper targets, manual scoring, 10 being the maximum per shot, and they have a 10 ring and then an inner 10 ring called an X, and if competitors have tied scores, the X count is used as a tiebreaker. Now, we've had earlier today our world champion Peter Bruce. Now, he shot 1,494 with 111 X's to win his world title in 2019 in revolver class. And that's the sort of level of competition we've had here today. Plenty of the top competitors on the line. And they shoot over 7, 15, 25 and 50 yards in various different shooting positions, from standing, sitting and kneeling, prone, and they stand with a barricade and they'll shoot left-handed around the barricade and right-handed around the barricade. So, highly skilled match, very dynamic, lots of changes in position. In some of the ranges around Australia, the targets will move down on rails back to the shooter and they'll stay at the 50-yard shooting line. Here in Brisbane, open range, you can look down there on the fantastic pictures we're giving you. The competitors move down from the 50-yard to the 25, to the 10, to the 7-yard line for the various sections of the competition. Everything on time constraints. So that's the important thing. You can't just take your time and aim up. You've got to get your shots away in a particular time sequence based on the portion of the match you're shooting. A lot of competitors will have little manual timers sitting at their feet or on their arm, and they want to keep an eye on where they are and make sure they get their shots away before the targets turn away again. At the moment, you look on screen, the targets are facing the competitors during their warm-up. They'll turn away and then turn back for the start of the sequence, and then turn away at the end of the timing. Fantastic to see on position F on the firing line, Ray Andrews, President of Pistol Australia. He's always at every competition, gets involved and has a shoot and does his absolute best. As I said, 7, 15, 25 and 50 yard shooting positions. Here in Queensland, in Brisbane, at this range, the targets stay stationary and the competitors move up and down to their firing line. In other parts of the country and around the planet, they have moving targets. So competitors stay at the back firing line and the targets will move back and forwards to the varying shooting positions. The competitors heading down now to 25, 6 shots, and that'll round out your 150 shots in the WA 1500. Obviously looking for the score as close as possible to 1500, scoring a maximum of 10 for each 150 shots. 1494, 111 X's, world record set by Peter Bruce in 2019. Dean Bruce up there, Jamie Longbottom. Jamie Longbottom, well, he drove down from Cairns, 830 kilometres. Craig Park came from Yarra in Victoria, 20 kilometres short across 3 state borders. He's come 1,810 kilometres to be here for the National Championship. We had our current world champion, Peter Bruce, on the line. Now, on the back of 2020, Peter Bruce won his world championship in 2019 at Hilltop. Australia held the world titles. Now, coming out of the back of 2020, it's now Rolly Miles from Canada, ranked number 1 in the world. Peter Bruce is ranked number 2. Roman Horber from Germany, ranked number 3. On the line in the last relay, Jamie Longbottom, currently ranked 7th in the world. So Dean Bruce, as I said, top coach from New South Wales, top competitor, also manufacturer of Red Centre projectiles. The choice of many competitors, Red Centre, along with Black Widow, One of the other top projectile manufacturers here in Australia. Competitors down there now changing targets again. They've changed targets a number of times throughout the match, and then they all go off for manual scoring, paper targets, and we won't know the final results till the presentations later today. Well folks, here at the Range Report we love innovation, and there's a great new training tool that's become available for pistol shooters to train at home. I'm talking about the Accuri shooting system, and I've got Bruce Quick from Potter Firearms. Bruce, let's have a look at it here. It's a brand new one boxed up.
Yeah, the Accuri system from Norway. They're a smart bunch of people, and they've come up with a home training aid, dry firing, laser based. This is how it comes, an unboxing. You get the basic unit, the unit which detects the laser. You slide in a target of your choice. This is the 25 metre precision target. It also comes with an air pistol target or any other rifle or biathlon target. They're very popular. The machine's turned on and a laser is inserted into the barrel of your actual pistol. So you're dry firing with your own gun. The sensor picks up a click, the hammer fall or the solenoid in an electronic pistol, produces a laser pulse which hits the target, then reports back to an app on your iPhone or your Android phone or your iPad. So you can get instant results, which you can store and send to your coach or refer to later and see if you're improving.
Well, just for the people at home who maybe are not pistol shooters, let's talk about dry fire. Dry fire is a process where you make your firearm safe, so it's not loaded, it's got no projectiles in it, and you can practice your shot routine at home. You can raise your firearm up into position and pull the trigger and practice your shooting routine. Yeah. The only problem is you don't know where you've pointed.
Yeah, a lot of people dry fire. Dry firing is very important. You can get a lot of benefit from dry firing. The shot process, the trigger pressure, following through, watching the sights, all very important aspects of shooting that can be achieved and perfected through dry firing. The problem is if you're dry firing against a blank wall or a target on a wall, it's hard to tell if that was actually a good shot. Everybody judges their own dry firing and rarely would they say, oh, that was a terrible shot.
10.9 every time, isn't it?
10.9 every time in dry firing. This little gadget keeps you honest and will tell you, are you dry firing well? Are you shooting a group when you're dry firing? More than just watching the sights and firing against a blank wall.
So you've got a sight picture here, so you would set this up 5 metres away, 10 metres away, whatever distance sets up. It comes with its own tripod, and it's also got on the back like a picture frame and you can hang it from the wall.
Yeah, you can hang it from the wall for ISSF shooting, would be in this aspect. For biathlon shooting, there would be 5 separate discs and it would be in landscape mode.
Yeah. So with the laser tool that you put in the end of your barrel of your firearm, and as you said, the click of the hammer fires the laser, so it will give you a signal on exactly where you hit, but it'll also follow what happens with the follow through. Like it'll track as your barrel comes off axis or off target.
Yes, correct. So the current software just reports the hit. They're in the process of developing a trace before and after the shot, and when that's released in the next few months, it'll be a very, very good training tool, very valuable training tool. And look, for around the $600 mark, it turns every pistol into a laser pistol. That's about what it costs to buy a dummy laser pistol, which isn't your own gun. The beauty of this is you're training with a laser at home with your own gun, your own grip, your own balance. And
the weight and the little laser tag at the end is not going to change the weight of the firearm dramatically.
No, it's very light. It slips into the end of the barrel and picks up the pulse, picks up the shock and emits a pulse onto the target. As I said, you can store that file in your iPad, iPhone, Android, download the app free from the website, change the target to dueling, your rapid fire stage, air pistol, 50 metre pistol, 25 metre pistol. All the targets are there for our shooting, our ISSF shooting, and you can actually record your dry firing session, send it to your coach, refer to it later.
Not saying people might cheat a little bit in their training, but your coach can definitely tell that you've done 100 dry
shots.
fires.
Exactly,
Yeah.
100 dry fire shots. And I wouldn't say people would necessarily cheat, but any dry firing is better than nothing. This has got to be better than dry firing against a blank wall, although there's the option to do everything. You can turn the target round and dry fire on the blank side of this target, and the computer will report the group. If you're just looking for a group size and you don't want to be focused on, was it a 10 or a 9, turn it round. You'll still get a report of the group size.
So when we slide this target in, I'm just going to try and get this target out of here. It's got marks on the corner here, and this is what the device recognises the target and sets it up and puts your centre ring.
It's accurate to plus or minus a millimetre, which is more than enough for its purpose. It's not meant to replicate actually shooting a match. It's a dry fire laser trainer, and very accurate, simple to set up. It's really a 2-minute setup. You turn the power on. It's got its own USB cord. You synchronise it to your device, and within 2 minutes you're shooting. You fire a couple of test shots and then zero it, so you don't necessarily want to adjust your own sights on your gun because they need to be ready for your next competition. So you shoot a group and then zero the group into the centre of the target and then continue on with your dry firing session.
And if we look at 2020, when a lot of ranges were closed, people were having all sorts of trouble keeping up their training, and it was important to keep that muscle memory, that raising up into your shooting position, going through your shot process. This at home, as you said, for around $600, you've got a perfect training facility in your own house.
I don't know how the pandemic's going to progress. Hopefully there won't be any more lockdowns. That'll be great. Lockdowns or not, this is a device that you can take with you on a trip if you're going interstate for a competition.
Great warm-up tool pre-competition.
Yeah, absolutely. There's many uses. It doesn't require a separate laptop. There are some systems that although they're very good, require an actual laptop computer, generally a second person operating the laptop, and a lot of calibration and setup time. We're talking 2-minute setup time with this. No wires, no cables, Bluetooth, sync to your device. Everybody's got a mobile phone or an iPad. Very, very easy to set up and use.
And for people who may not be close to a range, may not have easy access to a range, they go one day a week, one night a week to shoot their air match or their 25-metre match, whatever it is they're competing in. They can pull this out at home and get some really quality training.
Yeah,
and so, rather than maybe having a 2-hour drive round trip to the range, they can go and do an hour's training and get almost as much benefit. It's never as good as doing the actual process, but it's close.
You certainly need range time, but you definitely need dry firing time, and this just adds that extra dimension to what we've all been doing, which is dry firing, but adds a dimension of, yes, we can get a result if we want it, we can store that, we can send it to the coach, we can look back at it, we can look at our group size, we're dry firing, and hopefully it'll measure your group for you, and over time, if the group's getting smaller, then that's a good thing.
Let's have a look at some of the accessories that come with it. As we said, it can hang on the wall. Great little tripod system here that you can obviously get, and this is very solid. It'll change the balance as you get it perfectly square and flat.
Put it on a table or a mantel shelf. It's very light units. There's not a lot of weight to it. We've got the lasers here.
So this smaller one here, this is an air pistol. Obviously you've got the
177 caliber with some O-rings. It won't damage your barrel. The O-rings interface with the barrel, slips inside the barrel, and when the sensor inside here picks up a click or a noise, emits a laser pulse.
So just basically getting that tap noise on the back. So this one here, 25 metre?
Yeah, 22 caliber.
22 caliber, yeah.
And again, it goes in the barrel. The one you've got in your hand is a centerfire cartridge. So for the larger calibers, it's actually known as a snap cap or a dummy round. It goes into the revolver or the semi-automatic.
Oh, so it's sitting right back in the back of the barrel rather than hanging out the back, yeah.
Correct. So the laser travels all the way down the barrel. The firing pin, the hammer hits the firing pin, initiates the laser pulse, and it's a clever gadget. It knows that if you've got a semi-automatic, if it emitted a laser pulse every time it heard a noise, when you racked the slide or pulled your hammer back, it'd fire again. But there's a 3-second delay between pulses, which is user definable. You can make it longer or shorter, but you fire the pressure trigger, hammer hits, laser pulse happens, and then it waits until you reset the gun, and it happens again.
So we're talking here obviously air pistol, 22s,
Yeah.
but also used by people, biathlon shooters.
Yeah, I've had a lot of interest from biathlon shooters. They would use the 22 caliber. Biathlon shooters are shooting at 5-spot targets, so it's just a matter of changing from the ISSF target, turning the machine on its side, having 5-spot targets for biathlon or pentathlon. Modern pentathlon do the same thing, and whether they're prone, kneeling, standing, they're going through their drill. With biathlon, it's so important to run in, lay down.
Well, they're skiing in,
Yes,
so they get a high heart rate. They've got to get their heart rate down. So as a training aid at home, you could be doing some sort of aerobic exercise, come down, get your heart rate down, get into your firing position, and then practice your 5 shots, get up and get your heart rate up again.
Absolutely, and more than that, you've got a rifle on a harness on your back. So you've been jogging on the treadmill or running around the backyard. You come into the room, take the rifle off your back with the harness, lay down in position, and then go through your drills, then jump up and do the laps again. The biathlon community have supported this very well. They're very excited about the ability to train. You don't really want to drive to the snow just to shoot at 5 targets. You can do it at home.
Your transition in a sport like that is so important that you can quickly and efficiently get from your moving position to your prone position to fire the gun, and smoothly get it off your back and set it and get everything in. So you can just practice those processes. It's all a shot process.
Yeah, absolutely. The transition's the key. In high-level biathlon, seconds count. Fractions of a second will determine the difference between medal and not winning a medal, and perfecting that transition and being able to then get your accuracy sorted out. It's all part of what makes a good biathlete.
So the Accuri shooting system, it's a great training aid. It's an innovation. It's available now in Australia. Bruce Quick, you're representing it through Potter Firearms.
Yeah, very happy to represent the Accuri's people. They chose me to market the product in Australia, and we'll have it on display at the National Championships and various state titles throughout the year.
Thanks for your time, Bruce. We've got our NT pistol team here. One of them's on the line at the moment, Chris Harding, about to compete in the 3rd relay, the WA1500. But we'll start with Glenn, President of Pistol NT. Great to have your team down here for the National Championships.
Absolutely, Wesley. Thanks very much for speaking to us, and it's great to see everyone in person.
And the two Peters there, Peter Jones and Peter Tonkin. Peter Tonkin, you just had a competition, 2nd relay of the WA1500. You must be pretty good because all the top guns were on the line in that relay.
I wish I was that good. Yeah, it was a good shoot, and it's a real honour to be shooting with those guys, especially with Dean and Peter Bruce.
Yeah, Peter Jones, or Jonesy, we'll just call you Jonesy. You had Dean and Peter Bruce come up to NT to give you guys a bit of hand with service pistol and with WA1500 to get that team together to come down. Just watching those guys compete, it's pretty amazing stuff.
It is, it's just awesome. They spent the weekend there with us guys out on the range, and then at the end of each day they'd do a demo shoot. On our 2nd day they were demoing WA1500, and Pete actually shot his PB. He shot the, I think it was a 1496 that he shot, which is what he repeated at the World Championships. So he shot it first at Palmerston Pistol Club.
Fantastic, a good record there for Palmerston Pistol Club. Put that one on the wall. Now, who's 3 clicks to the right?
That's me.
That's it, Peter Tonkin, yeah. So Dean was telling me he's fixed up a problem you've had for most of your shooting career, and he's got you pretty much sorted in about 15 minutes, and that's pretty amazing. I mean, he's a very, very good coach.
Oh, he's an extremely good coach, and he kept on calling me 3 clicks all weekend because of it. But it fixed up my problem and made me aware. I've just got to keep on remembering what he tells me.
And that's it. And you're now signing off on your emails as 3 clicks to the right, aren't you?
Yes. And I must say too, Dean down here has come over and pulled us aside and offered his help. Anything we can do, anything he can do to help us, and it's a very impressive man.
And black powder, Glenn, how's that going for you guys? Your black powder team, really a fun competition.
Well, fun. That's the professional side of things. That's where the real sport is. Hey, no, it's been fantastic. NT's been able to field a full team in black powder this year, and that's the first time in a long time we scored 4th. We placed 4th for black powder 50 yesterday. That's myself, Chris, and Jonesy here on the black powder team. We've still got 25 metres to go, so it's just fantastic to be able to field a team, let alone rank.
Yeah, so first stage of 25 metre black powder's been on this morning. You guys are shooting tomorrow?
That's right, yeah.
25 metre?
Yeah. Jonesy's still got to shoot
I've got that coming up this afternoon.
black powder this afternoon, so yeah.
Well, best of luck and fun with those old guns. Are you the one who's shooting the musket? Looks like
Yes,
the old 1800
yes.
musket.
It's actually Glenn lent it to me. It's a Lepage, Pedersolian Lepage muzzle loader. Yes, so awesome gun, and I didn't do it justice yesterday.
Oh, well, good luck today in the 25 metre. Great to have NT here at the National Championships. Good shooting, boys.
Thank you very
Thanks
much.
very much.
Thank you.
Dean Bruce, just come off the line from your relay in the WA1500. How did you go?
Vast improvement on yesterday, Westy. Revolver is my preferred match, and well, it's yet to be scored, but I think I'm about 1 point behind Pete at the moment. So yeah, pretty handy. Yeah.
Well, that's fantastic shooting. Everyone was a little bit maybe out of sync yesterday, getting into the groove today. It's been a long time since a national comp.
Yeah, true. I think that the long break may have contributed to the scores yesterday being down a tad. You know, the elements were pretty nice. Some of us aren't quite used to the humidity, but no excuses. A few of the guys had sort of fogging up glasses and things. That's sort of a bit of a learning curve for them. But yeah, I think it's probably just rolling back into the groove now, and I'm expecting to see scores continuing to improve over the next few days.
So putting on your coaching hat, you spent some time up in the NT. You helped get their team down here for the WA1500 and service pistol. Tell us about that experience.
Oh, well, the boys put on a good show, there's no doubt about it. They took me off to a fishing farm and caught my first barramundi, and then we went out the harbour. But look, great bunch of people. Had a chat to the president of NT up there, and I said to him, you know, if I can get the lads tuned up, will he support them coming to a Nationals? He backed it 100%, and I was absolutely, genuinely excited yesterday when I seen the boys here yesterday, and I just thought, wow. And then I've given them a few little pointers and just told them, you know, the family at the Nationals will help them out in any circumstance. So if they've forgotten anything or if they haven't got binoculars or something, I said, mate, there's always something going to be there. And we've already talked about my next visit to the NT, so we'll get those checks and measures in place after the Nationals and head back up. But yeah, good bunch of people. Yeah,
you're just having a chat off camera to Peter Tonkin. He's got a slight sequencing issue with his revolver. You'll get that fixed for him as well?
Yeah, I'll introduce him to PK, one of the leading gunsmiths in Australia, and PK will be all over that in no time at all. And this is the sort of thing these guys need to learn, just who's who in the zoo and who they can lean on for advice and steer them in the right direction.
And as a coach whisperer, you fixed up a problem there for Tonks. 3 clicks to the right. Tell us about that one.
That was a fun experience. He'd been aiming at the left-hand 9 for 15 years, evidently, and I backed myself and said I'll fix it in 15 minutes, and they all laughed. And I think it was 11 minutes, and we fixed him, and it was 3 clicks to the right, and now he signs his emails off as 3 clicks to the right, Pete.
Yeah, it's fantastic to have the NT team here. They haven't sent a team for a while, the service pistol and WA1500, and you hope that grows the sport up in the top end?
Oh, there's no doubt. These guys will take this experience back to Palmerston and Darwin, and they will be sharing their experience, and that'll motivate people at that end, and I'm sure the NT team will grow in due course.
And they all were wide-eyed when your son Peter went up there and shot a PB, 1490 mids there somewhere. They were pretty amazed that he could do that.
Yeah, well, part of the motivation to get Pete there was, and myself, coaching, and they also wanted a shooting demonstration. Pete certainly put on a demonstration. He shot a PB at 1494. The guys just hadn't seen that level of shooting, and they were genuinely excited. They were whizzing around taking photos and posting our scorecards up onto the clubhouse wall, and Yeah, look, it's a great tool to be able to take our guns and be able to shoot and show the guys what can be done, and hopefully it's a motivational tool for them. And here they are now competing at their first nationals, and it's awesome to see.
And it'd be fantastic to see maybe down the track. NT hasn't held a nationals for quite some time. Who knows, down the track they might be able to get up there and everyone can come and enjoy the top end.
Oh, look, it'd be terrific. I've been, fortunate enough to be on the New South Wales state team now for 25 years on the trot. Never been up there for nationals. They've got a great facility. They're really good people, very hospitable, and I'm sure we could rally around plenty of experienced guys, range officers and judges and things that could really help them over the line. So I'd certainly be in favour of them putting their hand up anyway.
Fantastic, Dean. Thanks for your time. Good luck with the rest of the competition.
Thanks, Westy. Appreciate it.
Chris Harding from NT Pistol Team. We couldn't talk to you a moment ago when we spoke to your team members. You're out on the line here competing in the WA1500. Not your match, but you had some fun.
I did have fun, yep, and it isn't my match, you're right, but desperate times call for desperate measures, and I've been co-opted onto the team. So I'm making up the numbers, but having a great time as well.
And everyone watching this at home, they'll recognise you because you were on the PA Corona Quiz, grand finalist.
Well, yes, I was. I did a couple of those episodes. We did get in the grand final and got smashed. But it was.
You're already a media star. We already know you.
I don't know about that, but anyway, yeah. I've been around. My face could be familiar.
And black powder team as well. You got 25 metre to shoot today.
Yeah, I've done that this morning. That was good fun, and finishing off with a rapid fire section tomorrow. And while I'm down here doing a bit of judging as well on the black powder range. So yeah, it's all happening. Keep busy, and it's great fun.
It's a pretty good facility here. We're at the Metropolitan Pistol Club in the Belmont Shooting Complex. It's a lot of ranges here. There's rifle, there's shotgun, there's pistol. It's a pretty massive complex. How does that compare to what you've got up in the NT?
Yeah, look, I've been here before, and I must say it's improved since I've been here last. It's a terrific facility. How does it compare? I think the membership base down here is so large that there's a surfeit of funds, or there seems to be. So there's the facilities are better than the NT facilities, that's for sure. The government ranges that they've built up there are fairly impressive, but they're getting old now, and there's not a lot of money being put into them. But having said that, there's good pistol clubs in the territory that are that could hold A nationals, and that's what we're maybe looking into doing in the next few years. So with a bit of work and a bit of investment, we could maybe not be up to this standard, but certainly be up to a national standard.
So what's your home club up there in NT?
I'm at the Palmerston Pistol Club, always have been. That's a pretty much a predominantly ISSF club with a good service representative crew there as well, and we shoot a fair bit of black powder there. And the other club in Darwin, two clubs, the other club is Darwin Pistol Club. They're a reasonably large service club, but they're also an IPSC club as well, so a bigger member base, but predominantly IPSC.
So for people who don't know the Darwin area, Palmerston's just a short drive, like 20 minutes out of Darwin?
Satellite City, 20 minutes out of Darwin, yeah, maybe 20 k's, it's not too far away. Yeah.
And it's a beautiful part of the world up there in Darwin, a little bit wet at the moment, but come May, June, July, probably the time to visit the top end and come and see you guys at your pistol clubs?
May, June and July is the perfect time when the dry season hits in. At the moment it's pretty sticky. You're right, it has rained a lot and the humidity is pretty tough, and a lot of people from down south do suffer with some conditions, so maybe we should hold the nationals at about Christmas time and get a hometown advantage, I don't know.
They'll all be dripping wet and melting.
That's right, yep. So more than welcome. And a lot of people do travel up and they stay on the ranges and jump in for shoots and so forth. So we've had lots of visitors from southern states, people that are usually doing a lap around Australia, and there's a big circuit of people that get together in their vans and they camp from pistol club to pistol club and time a trip around competitions, and what a great way to go.
Well, Chris, thanks for your time this morning, and great to have the Pistol NT team here competing at the Nationals. Good luck with the black powder.
Thanks very much for that, and we'll see you again.
Peter Bruce, gold medal today, mate. Great competition in the revolver.
Yeah, mate, look, the competition's great. I thoroughly enjoyed today. It was a lot better than yesterday. Unfortunately, blew it a little bit on my last 50. I was in the box seat for a new record, but nerves got the better of me. But no, look, I'm very happy to have the gold medal again, and for the New South Wales to get up was great for Simon's first time. It was fantastic.
So your score of 1484 and 111 X's is very good.
Yeah, look, the 1484 I was happy with. The 111X is a new PB for me. I've never shot that high of an X-ring count before. That's very tight shooting, so obviously the components I got right were quite right. But yeah, 84 was good enough on the day. So
Dean Bruce, silver medal individual, team's gold, pretty successful day for New South Wales.
Awesome day for New South Wales. Extremely proud of not only Pete but Simon being his first time on the New South Wales team. And to have him up there, he's one of the guys I coach, and have him on the podium in the gold medalist position is just a little overwhelming and very humbling actually. Yeah.
So Jeremy Kozak, 1481 today, bronze medal, very tight competition for the top.
Yeah, absolutely stoked with that. It's actually a PB at a national for me, so I'm over the moon. Yeah, unbelievable. Great day for me, and I was stoked to be here. And great to be here, period, with the Queensland being able to hold it national, not being able to play with the boys in 2 years. It's you get sort of emotional a little bit, yeah, but unreal, really good.